this ENS Zoroark EX Hyper Rare quite a while ago, and I thought this card was pretty good, possibly to get a 10. And the dreadful thing was that it took about 4 months to get this card. So what we'll do today is we'll just go over what's going on, what possibly caused it to be a 9. Was the grader just having a terrible day? So on the offset, the centering looks pretty good. Obviously, as you know, I will check this under the microscope, but I couldn't see anything that would sort of just from face value, and that's why it's quite important to have your own pre-grading process. If we look at the back, corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, and possibly the reason, corner 4, and that's most likely. A lot of people online would argue that PSA do give 10s on white dings, but I think the way it is measured is that if you were to just look at the card, would you be able to visualize the ding obviously? And as you can see over here, that is quite obvious. So we'll go through the grading process and see why this happened. And obviously this was learning for me, and henceforth, like, even when I see dings, I do see a lot of dings on the microscope on the edges, but I do send them in. However, from now on, if I am able to see it by eye, definitely not. And let's have a look under the microscope. So under the microscope, we are able to give the card a bit of more visualization and have a deeper look at what's wrong, just to confirm that that's the card, and obviously we meant 9. So corner 1, and if you look closer at this area, that could possibly be another reason, but usually when we have sort of surface defects of this tiny magnitude, that's more applicable to, say, a Beckett. Over here as well, that's not the casing, so that could be as well surface as well. So that corner looks pretty good, and then we will keep going around the edges. That corner looks quite good as well, and that corner looks pretty good. Now to flip it over, looking around the edge, this is the bottom right and the bottom left, and that's what that looks like under the microscope. That sort of edge or paint chipping you see over there. And it's quite impressive that under the microscope it doesn't give you that much of a feature of sort of when you just look at it with your eye. However, it is quite visible as the video previously shown. And then we go past to the other corner, and that one's pretty good. So essentially quite a good looking card. What I'll just do, just for completion, is to see if the centering was good as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeters at the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the bottom. Maybe a little bit bigger than 5 at the bottom, but that's all within centering parameters. And yeah, we've got on the sides 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, I would say, on the left side, and on the right we have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could also say that the centering by itself could fall without the grade as well. Since obviously they have changed, PSA have changed their to 55, 54. So sometimes even when looking at the card without a microscope and without doing proper centering, it might look good to the naked eye. However, on further inspection, I think this is a really good example why a card can look good but not grade as good. And the other thing to keep in mind as well is that these golden cards do not grade as good as other cards. There does seem to be a little bit of sort of paint or whatever ink they use for this, it seems to come off quicker. So what I usually suggest is, if you pull a card like this, assess it, pre-grade it, and send it in as soon as possible. The longer these cards stay in binders and not properly looked after, the longer or the bigger the chances that they start losing their paint or ink. I am a fan of these golden hyper rare cards. I think consensus online is that people majority of people don't actually like them. They go for quite cheap, to be fair, considering the difficulty in pull rates. However, I do think in the long run they are really good investments, and if not for investing, I think a really good card to have in your collection. Alright, thank you so much.